Marcus Garvey Academy. I'm out sitting at the river right now. For those of y'all who saw the movie Harriet, you saw that she escaped from slavery to freedom by coming through Wilmington. Well, I'm sitting here, and I might be sitting near one of the rivers where Queen Mother Harriet brought some of our enslaved African brethren on the Underground Railroad. So I'm here today because I'm doing some work on the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy, doing some walkthroughs. Make sure y'all get y'all donations in. We need y'all. Make sure y'all get y'all donations in. We need y'all. Get them in. Cash App, $FDMG School. Cash App, $FDMG School. Make that happen. Or mail your check and money order payable to FDMG Academy, P.O. Box 9634. That's FDMG Academy, P.O. Box 9634, Wilmington, Delaware, 19809. It's a chilly fall day, you know, but the work never stopped. Trying to get some work done on the academy, on the school. Okay. We pushing, brothers and sisters, but I need y'all help, so get them donations in. We need y'all. Queens, New York, Jamaica Performing Arts Center, Sunday, December the 15th, we there. Pontiac, Michigan, Saturday, December the 21st, we there. Jackson, Mississippi, first day of Kwanzaa, December 26th, we there. Orlando, Florida, why is it boarded up? Because it wasn't being used. That's a silly-ass question. Why wouldn't it be boarded up? When you close down a building, you board it up to secure it. Stupid-ass question. But anyway, brothers and sisters, what else we got? Orlando, Friday of Kwanzaa, that's December the 27th. And then Pahokee, Florida for the first time, Saturday, December the 28th. And then Detroit, Michigan, December the 30th at the Charles Wright Museum. Detroit, Michigan, December the 30th at the Charles Wright Museum. NIBPA 50 State Black Parent Training Tour. If any of you are interested in hosting the NIBPA 50 State Training Tour for your state, make sure you get in contact with the Prince of Pan-Africanism. We already got Detroit, we got Chicago, so that means Illinois, Michigan, Utah, Mississippi, Connecticut, New York. We working on Delaware. Who else we got? Tennessee, Louisiana. I'm trying to come to every state to train the parents. I'm coming to every state to train the parents. So if you got a facility, church, organizational center that can seat at least 150 black parents and needs to be able to seat at least 150 black parents with tables and chairs. This is a training. This is not a lecture. This is a training. This is not a lecture. You have to be able to seat our parents with tables and chairs. If you got a church community center, free of cost. Free of cost, okay? Needs to be free or very low cost. Needs to be free or very low cost. If you have that, if you have access to that, get in contact with the Prince, 215-989-9858, 215-989-9858. Dr. Umar Johnson at yahoo.com. Get your unapologetically African apparel, drumarjohnson.com. Consultations and life coaching, I'm available for that. You can shoot me a text. You can also leave a voicemail, 8444 Dr. Umar. No, you don't have to pay for me to come for the training because I'm going to sell tickets on my website to cover my expenses. You don't have to pay for me to come to the training because I'm going to sell tickets on the website to cover my expenses. All right? All you got to do is find a location, but it needs to be free. Location needs to be free. We're trying to train all the black parents. That's what we're trying to do. All right? So I'm going to start scheduling some of the trainings real soon. I'm going to start scheduling some of the trainings real soon because we're going to hit the ground running in 2020. We want to hit the ground running in 2020. Who want to tap in real quick? We could do a couple tap-ins. If you got a question for the Prince of Pan-Africanism, #1 Pan-Africanist in the world, most requested scholar on the planet, top orator of the century, most loved and most hated, go ahead and tap in. Girls' school coming after the boys' school. The girls' school is coming after the boys' school. We in Wilmington, Underground Railroad Byway. You understand? Talking to kinsman to the greatest, Frederick Douglass, to another great, Bishop Wayman, descendant of 2 Civil War veterans, heir to Nat Turner. Okay, somebody don't listen, so I'm gonna block his ass. He don't listen. I said the host don't have to pay to bring me out. You're going to buy tickets to attend the parent training because I need to pay for my expenses. We need to pay for the cost of copying, which be extensive. We need to pay for refreshments. We need to pay for a lot of things. So you're not going to get it for free. Stop looking for free shit. I've done enough free shit in my life. I've done more free shit than any black scholar in America. Stop looking for free shit. Okay? I got 6 degrees. I'm a real doctor, not the fake ones on YouTube. You understand? Real credentials, real school psychologist. Stop looking for free shit from me. I've done enough free shit. The first half of my life was all free shit. All right? Do you go to the rap concert for free? Do you get your damn fingernails done at the Chinese store for free? Do you get your Air Jordans for free? No, you pay for all that bullshit. Stop looking for free shit. If you don't care enough about your kids to come and get the training, don't come. That's all. If you don't care enough about your children to learn how to protect them from the only school psychologist in America that's teaching you how to do it, don't show up. Y'all feel me, family? Negroes kill me with this free shit. They pay for everything. They pay everything. The Jews are selling it, they buying it. Mexicans selling it, they buying it. Arabs selling it, they buying it. Chinese selling it, they buying it. Soon when it's time for black folks to do something. I ain't talking about no lecture. This is a training. This ain't no damn DVD made by white folks. This is a training. This ain't no Hotep debate. This is a training. I'm giving you expert, educational, legal, procedural training. We going through special ed, IEP, psych evals, due process, manifestation, parent rights, discipline, behavior modification, functional behavioral assessment. This is an 8 in the morning to 8 at night training, 12 hours. 8 in the morning to 8 at night training, 12 hours. There will be a break for lunch and dinner. There will be a break for lunch and dinner. All right? If you can't pay for that to save your kids, then don't worry about it. Just keep it moving. But y'all will run your ass to the club. You'll run your ass to one of these goofy ass rappers when they do their concerts. You'll pay all that money for them football games though. Coon ass niggas. But brothers and sisters, we looking for places to host the NIBPA training. This is historic. First time ever a school psychologist has went across the country training black parents in the art of war for dealing with public and charter schools. Peace, black man. Where you tapping in from?
I'm over here in Virginia, man. McLean, Northern Virginia.
Where at in Virginia? Claymont.
Yeah, McLean, Virginia. Okay. Yeah. Hey, man, if anything, it's not really a question. I just want to commend you, bro, because something happened to me, and at the time it was a blessing because for some reason you came into my life and through my ears in regards to a situation that was going on with my daughter. I'm over here. I don't know if you know too much about Northern Virginia, but this is where they dwell. Meaning, you know, the white night schools and all that stuff or whatever. Upon getting my daughter into school, we had an issue where she's bilingual. She speaks 2 languages. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And before anything, it was something that happened, and I wasn't around. My mother, the mother of my child was, going around helping with these psychologists or whatever like that in regards to getting her in school and just basically trying to let them know that she speaks a different language. But off the bat, because we in their area, they automatically say, oh, we don't think it's that. We think it's autism or it's an issue where they're not understanding. But as soon as that happened, she called me and she was all distraught, didn't know exactly what to do. But for some reason, that's when I first got, introduced to you on YouTube. And I heard exactly everything you were speaking was the truth. So, and I kind of felt the same way. I was like, and being that we were in their, in their society, their school system, where you got to abide by their rules and do as they say. I was like, nah, that can't be right. So what ended up happening, long story short, we contested the whole situation. And what's funny is, luckily, I ended up finding friends that went to Howard. And, I ended up getting to having a black panel, which is funny, was a black panel versus a white panel, bro. And that was a trip just to see that happen. And we fought it to the point where we contested everything to the point where we were close to, possibly, going to court with these cats, in regards to, but they heard in the background, regressed everything they said, and was like, well, yeah, it's not consistent in the home and in the school, so yeah, it probably possibly, they didn't admit that they were wrong, but let's try and test and see if that's, and, they totally backed off of it because they knew exactly what route it was going, but because I heard you, bro, that's why it went like it was supposed to go. And I'm proud that I had a chance, that a brother like you is out there in society speaking on these issues. Because, man, I was feeling it, dude. You know what I'm saying? And for them to try to come at my daughter that early in life, she wasn't supposed to be tested because she was only 4. You know what I mean?
Wow. Yeah. Wow.
So I just wanted to hit you up and let you know that, man, that you made a big difference, dude. That's all I wanted to say. You know what I mean? Keep doing what you're doing.
Appreciate what I mean? Appreciate that, Black man. I appreciate that. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I should be coming your way. I think somebody reached out from Virginia for the NIBPA training. So, you know what I mean? I'm going to be putting that schedule out real soon. So make sure you check on my Twitter, my Facebook, my Instagram. Maybe you want to come.
You know what I mean? For sure, man. Especially up in this route, man. It's a couple of young guys, brothers like you, man. It's only very few, and they make sure they only pick a certain amount of us to be in the school system.
Yes, sir.
And they are here, man. They rerouting their whole situation, man. And I'm just thankful for everything. I'm thankful for us for being around and making that happen, dude. Yeah.
Gotcha. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, I listen out to you for you, man. So keep doing your thing.
Thanks a lot, brother. Be safe out
too,
there,
man. Peace.
All right, now. One love. One love. Appreciate the love. The proof is in the pudding with the Prince of Pan-Africanism. Tribe Ashanti going once. Tribe Ashanti going twice. Tribe Ashanti must be tied up. Tap in if you got a question, tap in. Once we open up the first school, we're going to put them all over the planet. This is Pan-Africanism or perish. Once we open up the first school, we put them all over the planet. This is Pan-Africanism or perish, baby. Y'all know how we do. You know how we do. Peace and love, beautiful. How you doing today?
Very good, and yourself?
I'm all right. Where you tapping in from, sister?
I don't want to really reveal my location, but I'll say the Midwest.
Okay. Give me a state. Can you give me a state?
Minnesota.
Minnesota. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
There's black folks out there?
Yes, there is.
I'm thinking with you. I've been out there. I've been to Minneapolis a couple times. I spoke at the University of Minnesota Mankato campus.
Yeah.
For Black History Month a couple years
ago. My little sister used to, go there. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. What's on your mind today, beautiful?
I don't, of course, agree with everything you say, but
that's all right.
Being a person who has practiced and also studied mental health, you're spot on. And I can't take that away from you at all.
I appreciate it.
Sometimes I may seem like a troll and everything. And
what's the name you be trolling under? What's the name? Let me see if it rings a bell. I probably won't know. What is it? Because I don't really follow too much.
The same name that I'm under right now, Allie the Sag.
I can't see it. After I tapped in, I can't see it.
Allie the Sag.
No.
Okay.
My memory's so bad.
Okay. No, but
what you be saying? What you be saying about me, Ali the Sag?
No,
what you be putting under the book?
I do have, very much admiration for you. I admire what you're doing. Very inspiring. And like I said, me having, I have a master's degree in, health psychology. So it deals with every single thing as far as even health and diet, spirituality, and everything like that. But the whole school thing, and I don't want to get into it. I just think that.
Nah, get into it. It's okay, because there might be other people who have the same questions you have.
Yeah.
So I don't mind that.
Well, it's just, it feels like it's a fleeting event, and it's, for example, you're even though we have the school, it's still a fleeting event, huh? Well, the thing is, my little sister actually went to an Afrocentric school. And we have these schools all public, charter, or independent. Of course, it was charter, but the thing is, we not charter though. I know. This garbage. I know it's private, but at the same time, it's these young children have the learning. I would love, because I used to work at a special education needs school, and special needs school. Yes, yeah. Much, yes. And as a mental health, practitioner and personal therapist, child therapist, with these children, that's why I say I agree with a lot of what you are saying when it comes to the children, and I appreciate it. But the whole thing, it turns me away when the whole, when I'm hearing about the taxes and the school and not being... What about the... No, get specific with me. What about the taxes? I don't know. I don't know. So... I don't know. So let me get this right. So you telling me, beautiful, that you don't have all the facts, but don't do that. You won't support the project because you're listening to what other people have to say about it, who don't have no inner working knowledge of what's really going on. Absolutely, because you haven't, besides that last interview that I heard, the other day? Yeah, exactly. And I watched... Well, that interview should have clarified it, though. Well, okay. What question do you still have after that interview? After that interview. But let me say this first. Okay, though, go ahead. Before you answer that. Do you understand why Dr. Umar does not reveal all internal details regarding the FDMG campaign? Do you understand why I don't do that from a business standpoint as well as from a political standpoint? Let me start with that. Do you understand why someone opening a school that is considered as controversial as this, why I wouldn't share every detail with the general public? I can understand that. Absolutely. I see your point in that. Okay. I would never illogically call you out on anything that you're doing logically. Absolutely not. Because that's not my stance, ever. Gotcha. Ever. Now, what question do you still have after the breakdown of the tax situation? And before you answer that, let me let everyone else know that I did a interview on Black Power Radio with the new Black Panthers a couple of days ago. And Brother Hashim Nzinga, shout out to him, because that was a very powerful and supportive interview. Probably the most positive interview I've had about the school ever. And I had clarified the situation involving the school taxes. And just to summarize it in 3 points. Point number one, we have not made a payment on the city tax because in order to enter into an agreement with the city tax, they include all outstanding bills. And we didn't want that to happen because we can pay the utilities bill out front. But I was encouraged not to pay the utilities bill up front because we had 5 meters on our bill, but we only have 4 buildings. So the city of Wilmington needed to come out, which they did the day before yesterday. And we walked through with the city
to match up the building with the meter. And guess what we found out? That one of the meters were incorrectly labeled. Not only that, we also found that one of the lines needs to be repaired, so I can't be charged for that right now until it is repaired. So in other words, we actually saved some money by being patient, because now they have to take those charges off the bill. And then once they take the charges off the bill, we're going to pay the utilities out flat, and then we can do the payment plan for the real estate taxes. You see? So that's the city. With the county, we just entered into a tax agreement plan with the county. So the taxes are no problem. The school ain't in no sheriff's cell. And also keep in mind, your taxes do not become delinquent until they're still owed when the next tax season comes around. So they don't even start looking at you being delinquent until next July, when the next tax season come out. So the school is in no tax trouble, county or city whatsoever. But the problem is, so many of us get our information from YouTube. We listen to these random coons who have built platforms off of trying to assassinate the integrity of Dr. Umar. And rather than wait for my updates, we would rather listen to these idiots who are armed with nothing other than information they find on the internet that doesn't have any context to it or any historical perspective to it. So that's why I stopped doing regular updates, because there's so much negativity being put out on YouTube that I can't compete with it. And so I've resigned myself to the fact that when they see that school up and running, they will know the truth. And also, and then I'll let you go, Queen. Okay. My supporters are not influenced by the YouTube coonery. Like when I get my donations in the mail, they tell me, stop responding to the questions. You have answered every question. You have shown everything that needs to be shown. If they don't believe in you now, they're never going to. And if they believe in you now, they're not going to stop. So the elders were like, stop answering. These people aren't donating. If you're answering all these questions, if they're that suspicious, they're not going to donate anyway. So why waste your time? Focus your attention on getting your school up. And that's why I've really fallen back from that whole situation.
No, I definitely can understand that. And I appreciate your enthusiasm in opening a school, especially to the betterment of a lot of children who have had that diagnosis or that label put on them as far as, special education. Because I even had it in my family where I've had a diagnosis of, a sibling who had special education, and she doesn't have she didn't need that. And so
misdiagnosed.
So she was excluded from being, socially in a place where she should have been into. So I appreciate that. And I definitely respect you for that, for actually acknowledging that exists and educating a lot of parents, because a lot of parents, they're so busy with work and they can't really comprehend what is really going on. I'm reading a lot of, children's, IEPs, and I'm like, why am I copying this person's IEP to another kid's IEP? That makes no sense. Yeah. So so there's I get really passionate about that, because I have had to, deal with that. And I'm like, no, that makes no sense. And, so I really appreciate that. I'm very passionate about that. I'm just, okay, so I'll go away from that, from the 50-state tour. I'm like, how can one man do all of this stuff within 1 year and still be for yourself, mentally sound, because you have to have that personal mental clarity as well.
I agree.
And you're saying 50-state tour, all the while opening a school. And I just want to level set. I don't want to be derogatory at all, because there's no need to be. You know, you're a very respectful gentleman, and that's where I want to keep it.
Some people told Harriet Tubman the same thing, didn't they? They told Frederick Douglass the same thing. They told Nat, so our history as a people has always been succeeding against the odds. The way I look at it is this. It's a matter of life or death. Because if they end up in that special ed to prison pipeline, there's no bringing them back most of the time.
Absolutely.
You follow?
Yeah.
So if I have to give up every free moment of my life to free a black child, I got to do it because no one else is doing it. I'm not the only black school psychologist, but I'm one of the few who don't work for the school system. So I have the freedom to tell the truth publicly. Most of my colleagues work for school systems, so they don't have the freedom to tell the truth publicly. So I have to build the school. I have to build the NIBPA. I got to do the tour because there's no one else. If there was another one doing it, then I could say, hey, I only got to do 25 states. You know what I mean? But there's not. So me being the lone conscious school psychologist in the country without no one else to really stand by me and say, come on, doc, we're going to do it together, it falls to me to do it because I've seen the consequences. I've seen what happens when black boys and girls end up on that medicine, or their parents stop giving them that medicine, or they end up in prison. So I got to do everything that I can. And it does get tiring at times because of the criticism or the lack of appreciation. But the work itself never tires me, So when I do them trainings, I feel so good because I know they're leaving this with information they didn't have that they're going to be able to put into effect right now to save their children. And that's my payment, the victories that each individual parent will get from implementing that information. I do it because there's no plan B.
And
there's no plan. If I died today, where is that? And all of us can be replaced. Don't get me wrong. We can all be replaced. But if I died today, how long would it take for another black school psychologist to say, I'm going to fill the void that Dr. Umar left. I'm going to be the one to escort these parents through the school to prison pipeline. I'm going to be the one to let them know that the learning disability is a joke and ADHD is a fraud. Where is that person? There's so much money to be made in psychology.
absolutely.
That I don't know if you'll get another one of me for a long time because I could become a millionaire in a year. A lot of you not. That's how much money is in mental. I could become a millionaire in a year with my credentials if I would just fall back and misdiagnose kids for them. I'm telling you, they'll pay you $10,000 an eval. $10,000 for one. That's how much money they're making hustling our children. So I got to do it. If I don't do it, who else?
I will give you this, my own vantage point of it. I would say, but this is just my advice. You don't have to take it, but just my advice. I would say fall back on the school for a minute. And I know you don't want to hear it. I know you don't want to hear it.
I'm down here at the school right now.
But let me tell you something. Teach young people in the field of psychology, because your one school is only going to help people in Delaware. When you teach people, you're helping people all around the globe to do exactly what your passion is, what you are trying to do. And guess what? Instead of one school, we got 50. Instead of one school,
that's the goal.
We got 100.
After we do the first one, we want to replicate it.
No, but you have to start teaching now. You have to start teaching now because there's a lot of there's a lot of people in psychology who are going to finish their degree without a job and without credentials and without nowhere to go. So if you start pouring your information into these young millennials who are ready to fight that fight, you are going to spread it out like wildfires. And that's just kind of the advice that I would give to you. Hold on, because we have tons of Afrocentric schools, Pan-African. I told you.
But now we don't have, I agree with you, but we don't have a single school like the one we about to make.
I get you, but you want to make one. Let's make 1,000.
No. We're going to start with one.
Okay.
But we want to replicate FDMG across the planet. I've been given 50 acres of land in Ghana, West Africa.
Yeah.
We're going to put an FDMG there. We want to put them everywhere.
Yeah.
And then we also want to build a virtual school platform. So if your son in Minnesota cannot attend school wherever the campuses are, because we'll end up with more than just Delaware, he can still be a student at the school virtually, where he can tie into the platform during class, right? So when his classmates show up at 8 o'clock, he taps in at 8 o'clock, and they can see him, and he can see them, and the teacher can see them all. So he's right there in the class without physically being in the class. So we will have a virtual school platform to go along with the physical campus.
And that's excellent. But again, I challenge you, start teaching some of these young millennials.
I agree.
To start this mission. That's going to be bigger than what's taking place now.
I got a question. You should consider hosting the NIBPA 50 state tour for Minnesota. Because I haven't heard from anybody from Minnesota yet. All you have to do is find a place that can seat 150 parents with tables and chairs. A church community. Because Minnesota needs that, because y'all don't get a lot of consciousness out there.
We do, but it's kept in confined areas because we're a very liberal state, of course. But I've said some disparaging things about you, and I will take accountability for that.
What's the worst? You must have really been going in on me.
I have.
And I really been going in.
I will never lie on myself. And the thing is, I couldn't connect with you unless I expose that about me. I thought you'd probably know some of the things that I've done.
Well, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Why is it so easy for some of us to attack and criticize a campaign that is so necessary, so important, and so critical to the success of our community? As someone who has been on the other side of the Dr. Umar fence, an attacker, tell me about how are you able to attack me so easily, knowing how hard I work to do it?
Thank you for that question, because I was, when I was mental health, practitioner and everything, and also a lead mental health practitioner, I would watch your videos every single time you came up. And the biggest thing that I had an issue with, to where it struck me as was when you and I know you don't want to go through this, and I don't want you to, but Sarah Sutanseti, and it was just,
that was 3 years ago.
To me,
3 years ago.
To me,
that was 2016. We going into 2020.
But listen.
And I only did one video.
But that video was really harsh. And it's just if he feels that way about this man, what would he even feel about me? And then I started to get into some of the videos that were critical of you. And learning more about that. And I'm really glad we're having this conversation. I really am, because this conversation is very much needed, because this is one of the reasons why I was just like, whoa, hold on. Like, am I going to be like attacked as well? And I know you're not going to attack me, but the thing is, I went on the defensive, about that, because me and Sarah probably look like we can be brother and sisters or something like that,
But I didn't have an issue with skin tone. I don't do light skin supremacy or dark skin supremacy. We all family. So that was not my issue. My beef had nothing to do with his complexion.
But you said he looked like an albino.
My family is lighter than him.
You said he looked like an albino, and his skin tone is the same as mine.
Oh my God. So something like that stated at the height of a response to criticism that I received, you generalize that to yourself?
Well, because I'm just like, whoa, is it?
But I was talking to one person. I was not making a general statement, nor did I imply that I was rejecting light-skinned Africans. I've never, ever.
He has the same.
I'm a Pan-Africanist. How?
You said that he looks like an albino. He has the same skin complexion as me. I may even be a little bit lighter than him.
Okay.
So,
but why did you generalize it? Like, why did it have to be an attack on every light-skinned person? A comment I'm making to him. We were at each other. You follow what I'm saying?
Because, for example, if we fell out, I'm like, oh, you're probably going to say the same thing about me.
So let me ask you this. I fell out with other people who are light-skinned. And I've made no such comment. So why? So all of the work I've done gets thrown out? You follow what I'm saying?
I would never discount the work that you do. Ever. So, because I'm a very fair and logical person, I would never discount any work that you do. I appreciate, like I said, I appreciate the work that you do with our children that have special needs and some that are labeled as special needs when they really don't have special needs. So I have a very hard passion for that. My only biggest thing is with the school and understanding that with the school, the way, what you need is like a board of trustees.
Well, you have to have a board if you're operating a corporation, and FDMG is a corporation. Yeah. You understand? Yeah. So you're required by law to have that. But here's my issue, going back to a comment I made earlier. It amazes me, not you per se, but it amazes me how so many in the community expect me to tell them every single like I'm supposed to go on YouTube every day and give a full reporting of anything done for the school every day. You understand? Yeah. And I'm giving this to people who don't give a damn about black children, the mission, why would I do that? And if they didn't hear it, it automatically don't exist. You follow what I'm saying? So, because to be honest with you, I considered not showing the school at all or the location because I knew that would become a new focus of attack.
Right.
See, most of my detractors, they're not interested in the school. They want to see me fail. They don't give a damn about black kids or none of that. They just want to see me fail. So I wasn't going to show the school at all, but I said, you have to show it. Not for the detractors. I could give a damn for my supporters. My supporters needed that positive reinforcement to continue to stand strong, because although most of them have been resolute since day one, some of them probably began to drink some of the YouTube Kool-Aid. And because some of my supporters began to drink some of the YouTube Kool-Aid, I said, you got to show them the school. That's why I did the video. That's why I did the tour. It was for my supporters, not for the general public, not for the detractors. Because as I've always said, my message is only to supporters and donors, not to anyone else. Because if you haven't donated after 5 years,
you ain't going to. You follow? So I'm dealing with a specific group of people. But the haters give off this idea that I'm obligated to tell every black person what I'm doing. Not at all. I totally disagree with that. I'm only accountable to those who support the agenda.
I can understand that. I can understand that because I don't tell what my right hand is doing to my left hand. I can understand that, and I respect that. One of the things I wanted to also kind of understand, you said that like you're dealing with a lot of sabotage. One of the things you said was that you're...
And just to give you a couple of real quick, they contacted the Attorney General of Delaware.
Mm-hmm.
They contacted the governor's office. They contacted the Secretary of Education. They contacted the councilwoman where the school is.
Mm-hmm.
They also contacted L&I. If you remember, I had a cleanup day back in the summertime.
Yeah.
Well, where we took all the furniture and we cleaned it up to make it ready for the contractors.
Yeah.
They called the city and said that I had unlicensed people
Mm-hmm.
working on the school. L&I came out and they almost shut down the cleanup day. All we doing is just cleaning up. And these Negroes who don't live nowhere near Delaware called the city and they came out, okay, and they had to do a walkthrough to make sure I wasn't lying about the fact that this was a cleanup day and that I didn't have brothers and sisters who are unlicensed. Because before you do any work, you got to go downtown and pull the permit before you do any electric, any carpentry. So there was none of that. But these niggas called the white folks and told them that's what I was doing. So, but I'm going to tell you what bothers me the most. That so many of us will continue to watch videos by people who are making fun of something so critically important as this school. Like, none of those videos should ever be watched out of pure principle for caring for our kids. They should have 0 views, but yet our people still continue to support that nonsense, which makes me question how serious are we really?
No, I definitely understand that and everything, and I'm definitely gonna ignore your chat because some of them are saying things that they're not very privy to, but we'll leave that at that. But one of the things I wanted to ask you about was in regards to, you said that there was a white attorney that sabotaged you, and I kind of want.
I believe he did it on purpose because I have a hard time believing that a white attorney who does real estate law for a living could forget. You follow me? You know I'm a first-time purchaser of a commercial. How could you forget? And he didn't claim to forget. He just never answered the question. I believe he did it on purpose. But to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
How could you forget to tell someone? How do you forget to tell them?
Oh, there you go.
That, yeah, that was a call. How do you forget to tell someone purchasing a commercial property that they only have, I think it was 2 weeks or 3 weeks, I think it was 2 weeks, to file for a tax exemption 2 weeks after purchase date, to file for a tax exemption? How do you not tell me that at the closing? How do you not send that in an email? Like, I was so angry when I contacted the city and the county. They said you had 2 weeks to file for this. How was I supposed to know that?
Would have been like, I'll let you, I don't know. Okay. My question would have been.
No, that was somebody calling. Whenever they call, it freezes for a second.
Yeah, I had a call too. But my question would have been is why not an African American or African?
Couldn't find one. No, I reached some.
Okay.
My original attorney was black.
The original closing attorney was black.
Okay.
But then he told me he wasn't able to complete it because he had too much other stuff going on, and he didn't want to do a disservice for me. It was a black male.
Oh, wow.
It was a black male. Mm-hmm. He referred me to the white guy.
Oh, okay.
He started me in the process, but it appeared to be more cumbersome than he thought it would be. You know, and he had other things on his table, and he just called me one day and said, you know, I don't want to do you a disservice. I got so many other projects that I need to give you someone who knows this and knows it. I don't think he was as expert as the white guy he referred me to. But what he said was he wasn't able to finish it. He had some other stuff going on. I don't know what that was. Some other things that were more important at the time than helping me close with the school. And so he recommended me to the white guy.
Okay. I mean, that's fair. That's fair. At least you know.
But you see how you made the assumption that I went straight to a white guy? You see that?
Absolutely, because I mean, you didn't explain all of that, right? And you don't have to, but that's what people are going to do, right?
If I explained every single thing with the school, I would have no time to sleep or eat.
Yeah.
This is a commercial property. I shouldn't have to do that because it's not that important. What's most important is that we get the legal stuff done. What's most important is that we get the closing done, black or white. But naturally, I started with a black attorney for the closing.
And that's important to know, right? Like for your people and for like the people who you are trying to reach. Absolutely. So I can absolutely understand that. And then another thing I kind of forgot, but it'll hopefully come to me. What are your like as far as with the 50 state tour? What's coming with that? Like, what can we expect?
That's a big question. The training is going to be from 8 in the morning to 8 at night, 12 hours. Usually when we do the NIBPA training, we've done the trainings before. The first one when we started the organization was in Maryland, 2016.
Okay.
Then we went to Houston, San Diego, Detroit, and Delaware. We've done about 5. And so now, if I want to get to as many states as possible, I won't be able to do a full weekend because the training is 2 days. It's normally 2 days.
Yeah.
But that's not going to be possible. So I'm going to squeeze as much as I can into 1 day.
Okay.
But you will have this much paperwork. Your paperwork will be like the size of a Bible because we have to go through the eval, the IE. I mean, it's very detailed. I mean, it's mastery.
Yeah.
The eval, the IEP, the behavior plan, the notice of educational placement, the manifestation, the FBA, the different federal laws, the different special ed laws. I mean, it is a very intense, in-depth training, equivalent to what an educational attorney would do. That would probably cost you $1,000.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Because I've collected all the data through the years of working and laws and just everything you need to know. So when you walk out of there, you're pretty much, you have to study the stuff because you can't remember it in 1 day.
Yeah.
But if you master the information you get in that training, you would be a master parent advocate. Like you would be able to work with, you would be able to help almost any, you would know more than the average parent advocate, principal, school psychologist, or educational lawyer knows. You would know more than that.
Absolutely.
In fact, I've done a lot of consult work with educational attorneys. The attorneys would call me, white attorneys, educate and ask me, what do you think about this case? How would you approach this case? If you were the attorney, what would be the most important aspects of this case that you would bring forth in the due process here? I've had attorneys come to me, white ones, educational experts, and ask me to basically create the framework for their attack. And I want to give all this to our parents because I can't be everywhere all the time.
Right.
So
exactly.
I have to make sure y'all have the information.
and then y'all can turn around and teach each other.
And then, so my question would be, why not? Did you hear me?
Say that one more time. Why not repeat that?
Why not concentrate on one project at a time? Because you have a lot of projects going on, so something is going to falter.
I don't agree that something has to falter. I think the school and the 50 state tour go hand in hand because they're two parts. The school is the institution.
Yeah.
The NIBPA is the organization.
Okay.
The school is proactive. We're going to prevent. The organization is reactive. We're going to intervene. I think you need them both. You need the institution to show how we should be educating our children, but you also need the organization to save as many children who have already been caught in that system. So I don't think that I could do one without the other. What is this truck doing?
Well, it's not one without the other. It's more so concentrating your attention and focus on one at a time. Because, for example, like with the state tour, you could be traveling and going to a lot of Afrocentric Pan-African schools and you know, kind of envisioning how it will be at the school that you are going to be building and letting your donors know, like, this is going to take some more time. You know, we're still kind of, I don't know if it's in the infant phase or if it's in the toddler phase or if it, you know, what phase it's in, you know, and gaining so much information and knowledge from them as to how to run it. I feel like you're doing it all by yourself and you need a lot more professional help.
Well, on the school side, you got to remember, I've been in education my whole life. So most of my friends are educators, psychologists, principals. I have more help than I would need for 100 lifetimes. But again, because YouTube don't know who they are, they can't possibly exist. You see? On the other side, on the NIBPA side, that's the perfect